Hi guys, my name is Nonima Digela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about the illegal detour, how the court dragged Gwabini into a case where he does not belong. That's what we are going to talk about now. This is the moment the Senzo Meyiwa trial took its most dangerous turn, not because of new evidence, not because of fresh testimony, but because the court itself wandered into illegal territory. Today, we expose how illegally irrelevant assault allegation, the so-called Gwabini issue, was dragged into a courtroom where it had absolutely no place, and how that detour is destroying the fairness of this trial minute by minute. Let's start with the reality. The only issue before court was simple. Was the 2020 statement made freely, voluntarily, and without coercion? That's it. No extra chapters, no new characters, no side quests. This is Criminal Procedure Act, sections 217-101. This is the law as taught in first year criminal procedure. But then the court moved off the road and went wherever, who knows where. The court's mistake introducing Gwabini out of nowhere. Suddenly, the judge revived a 2019 alleged assault involving Gwabini. No, sorry, a 2020 assault involving Gwabini. Something the defense never placed before court. The state never argued the application does not deal with. This violates Criminal Procedure Act, section 166. Court must rule on application as presented. State versus McCall, judge may not introduce issues not placed before them. State versus Jayapal, courts cannot expand the scope of the inquiry to irrelevant issues. State versus Gabotolwe, reopening or expanding should never prejudice the accused. This is judicial overreach disguised as clarification. Why is Gwabini's issue 100% irrelevant? Let us be clear about one thing. The alleged Gwabini assault happened way before where we are right now. It does not relate to this current statement, this current issue of the application. Does not affect voluntariness. It is no party to section 217 inquiry, was never pleaded. Like nothing was about any of that. This is like investigating a car crash and suddenly asking about the driver's childhood injuries. It's irrelevant, it's collateral, and the worst of all, it derails the truth. When a court introduces an irrelevant issue, the defense loses control of its strategy. The trial goes prolonged, intentionally or not. The accused must now defend a charge they never raised. The state gets a free narrative advantage, and worst, it creates the impression that the court is rescuing the prosecution. This is textbook unfairness. The accused are not just fighting the state, they are fighting the judge. And now we are also dealing with power dynamics, why this looks like a judicial shield for Gcinenda, for Baloyi, and all of them. There is a pattern here. Every time Gcinenda is questioned, every time the defense gets close to the truth, something happens. There's drama that will happen. The judge shields Gcinenda, calls him senior, calls him experienced, calls him someone who would never allow an assault. Yeah, that's why you see me doing this. This is credibility finding before the witness is tested, a catastrophic breach of neutrality. And by dragging Gwabini into the picture, the judge gives Gcinenda a halo of innocence without evidence and without relevance, without legal justification. And now the core question, what is this really about? The detour has one effect. It protects the 2020 statements. If the court can show the 2020 assault didn't happen, or it wasn't serious, or it wasn't Gcinenda's fault, then the 2020 statement looks safe. But this is not how justice works. You cannot fix a weak statement by When the court introduces irrelevant issues, the justice system collapses from the inside. These are the things that collapse. Fair trial rights, adversarial balance, impartial of the judge, public confidence, the accused constitutional protection. And suddenly the truth doesn't matter, only control does. Because Judge Rata is a man that believes in control, guys. You're that man. He believes in control. He believes if you can't challenge him. If you want to fight with Judge Rata, challenge him. That is why Mnisi is in problems, because he's always dragged by Judge Rata. Is because Mnisi challenges. Not even rude, no. Mnisi is doing his job and he will challenge when things are not looking right. He will ask questions, and Judge Rata does not want that. He wants things to be done by the book of Judge Rata, not even by the law. He bans it for Baloyi. It's not about law. It's about the book of Judge Rata. That is what we are dealing with. That is the problem that we have here. That's the problem that we have. The Kwabini Tito is not just a mistake, it is a warning. A warning that the lines between judge and prosecutor are thinning. Kanje. A warning that the law is being stretched to protect a narrative. A warning that the road to injustice is paved with irrelevant issues sneaked in under the guise of clarification. The trial is no longer just about Senzo Meyiwa's death. It's about whether South Africa still has a justice system capable of protecting the truth. Because right now, the way Judge Rata is going on and going on and on, and the things that he does there, he is the one that is making people come for him and be asking questions, because what we are dealing with now, it has zero relevance to proving or disproving the 2020 statement. That is where we are. And the Kwabini issue, the Kwabini assault issue, is not before the court. He was just saying the things that happened. It forms no part of the evidence application, no part of the state case, and no part of the evidentiary dispute currently being adjudicated. Introducing it now violates Criminal Procedure Act Section 166 and the principle that court must confine themselves to the applications actually placed before them. And Judge Rata does not seem to care about any of that. This thing of Kwabini, it has zero relevance to proving or disproving the 2020 statement. The only live question is, was 2020 statement made freely, voluntarily, and without coercion? Kwabini's alleged assault is not bearing on the inquiry and cannot be used to undermine or reinforce the statement. This is the textbook context of State versus Japan, State versus Nicole. Court may not introduce new irrelevant issues to resolve state matters, because that is what Judge Rata is busy doing here. And currently raising it right now prejudices the accused. It prolongs the trial unnecessarily. It derails the defense strategy. It forces them to answer allegations they never placed before the court. It creates perception of a court aligned with the state narrative. And that is classic trial unfairness. An accused cannot be ambushed with collateral issues that alter the landscapes of the case. That is what Judge Rata is doing here. And it is unfair. It is so unfair. I don't know about you, but I think Judge Rata does not care. He is so critical when it comes to the defense lawyers, but he will go around and do the same thing that he was complaining over defense lawyers, allow Baloyi to do them. Do you see he's not a consistent judge? He does what pleases Baloyi's heart. That is all he cares about. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Bye-bye.